when we spoke, we're like, let's come on and talk about your recent adventure, the book, and you've got Olive.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a little bit earlier on how this came about from your mom passing away. And I went onto the website, and it talks about having created this book for love, friendship, and a dash of bravery, that you want to inspire children to have courage and to live their dreams. A lot of what you have on your profile. So talk about the book. I'm going to stop talking.
Children are, they're our next generation. They're our future. And seeing a child have joy on their face, to be excited about something, if it's only a brief moment, is amazing. And when my mom had passed, sometimes you can lie in bed or curl up in a ball. And I was with her, when she took her last breath, and you never forget that. And this dog that was brought into our life a year after my mom passed, it was accidental. I usually don't get on the feed in our subdivision because a lot of times people will write negative things, they get going. So I only go on there to post something or whatever. I usually don't scroll. And right when I opened it, this English bulldog, cutest face in the world, was sitting there with a picture. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Then I could read, which I thought it was like a fake post, said that they're looking for a home. And I'm like, how could anybody look for a home for this gorgeous fur ball? I'm like, my heart it's just like everything just welled up inside of me. Like, I have to have her. And we had just lost our dog Roxy, and I said I would never have another dog again because I can't stand the pain when they pass. They don't have long enough life. For some reason, God gave parrots 90 plus years to live. I have no idea why. And then give a dog, 8 to 15, and if you're lucky, you get more.
Very good point there. Never thought about it.
I'm going to have a long talk about that. So when I get there. But so anyway, I said I have to get her. So I read this long message about Olive. And, I thought I'm going to private message, and I wrote that we just lost Roxy. I said I'd never have a dog again, but I just instantly fell in love with this dog and would love to meet her and, see if we'd be the perfect home. So anyway, she wrote me right back, said of course, she had hundreds of messages and text and whatever. And she goes, something felt right about yours. Would you like to meet her? And so, of course, we went over to the house, and they had 2 little small boys, and we know now why they needed to get rid of Olive. She had like 41 ailments. She high anxiety. She was a hot mess. When we got there, we were at the house for like 1 second, and her boys had Gordon in a headlock.
Your husband?
Yeah, they were wrestling him. They were wild beyond boy. We have 2 grandsons, and to me, they're all boy. And her little boy, oh my God, they're adorable. And so they were all over the place, and Olive was all over the place. And when she brought Olive over, Olive was kind of like, all over. And I'm like, what did I get myself into? Our island is, you can't see the table for viewing the show, but we have a huge island in our kitchen. It was filled with Olive's medicines and all of the paraphernalia that we needed to raise this dog. She was 2 at the time. And I'm like, what did I get myself into? I think my eyeballs were, she actually said, do not hesitate to call back if this doesn't work out. Because I think she saw the fear in my eyes. Like, what the heck? And of course, we left for volleyball that night, and we had a little chocolate toy poodle, which we have Louie, and we put Louie in one room and Olive in another because I thought she might eat him. When we came home from volleyball that night, Olive was on the couch on her back. Her legs wouldn't come apart because she was so chubby at the time, and she was laying there sound asleep. I thought, well, someone's made themselves at home, and of course, it was a full-blown. Is like I imprinted on her or something. Full-blown love, just unconditional, massive love that I have for this dog. Gordon, my husband, says, you still look at me like that. So she has, knock on wood, wherever that might be. Maybe this book there's paper. It came from a tree. She has no ailments. She is so healthy and lovely and wonderful. And so one night we're watching television, a storm came in, and she started making this crazy sound. She's running around like, what is going on? The thunder would, go, and she just did this crazy movement. We opened up the door to our upstairs porch, and she ran out there. And what I saw her do was she was afraid. Obviously, she was afraid by the sounds and the movement and what she was doing. We stayed close to her, but what she did was go out onto the porch to charge after whatever this was that was causing her fear. I'm going to attack it. I'm going to find out what it is. I need to know where it's coming from. And she barked a little bit at it, and so we brought her inside because, we wanted her calm and that. And she sat next to us. But what got me was she was afraid, but she did not let it stop her. And she went after it to research it, to figure out what the heck it was that was happening, around her. She does that for a lot of things that trigger her inner personality to come out to figure out what the vacuum is or the Windex bottle or whatever it might be. But and then the facials that she has, the movements, her face changes depending on the reaction of where she's at and what she's doing. And she brought me and my husband out so much joy that I had to express it somehow and allow other people to meet her and know her, because I think that she makes a difference in people's lives. So all these words were coming to me, and I sat down. So it's the Oh Olive. That's the series. And the first book is Oh No, a Thunderstorm. And then the next book is Oh No, a Creature in the Closet. And so they just kind of go from there. They're all Oh Olive, Oh No, and then something that, we kind of all go through as children or adults. My husband has to close the bathroom door because he doesn't like the light that comes out. Like, what's going to come out of the bathroom? It's just a weird thing. Even as adults, we have these stupid little quirks, that we have fear. Sometimes the fear is huge. It's losing your life, fear of that, or a struggle or a divorce or whatever it might be. As adults, we have fear. So I wrote this book. It's been a learning lesson, everything that go with it. The launch party was beautiful and amazing. And so my goal, it's not a get quick or get rich or whatever. It's truly a passion project that I'm taking on full on. But my goal was, again, to give back. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation gets a portion of the proceeds. It's not a huge, where there's tons of money, that you make when you write a book. But with that, besides the Make-A-Wish, my goal is to read to as many children in places that allow me to read. So we go to libraries and schools. I don't get paid for it. Now, it's wonderful if they end up buying a book, from it. That's everything, when someone wants to take a piece of it back with them because they think it will benefit or bring them joy. So we go to libraries and schools, even boutiques that do book signings. We're at the Porch. We'll be at the Abbey. I was talking about that earlier, Hearth and Soul. There's places that have maybe a little children's boutique, or they're just a boutique. And April's on Main, had me. So it's wonderful in a retail store as well. My books are at Main Street Bookstore in St. Charles. I'll be at Barnes and Nobles. They carry. And so, when people want it, that's one thing. But then when you're there and you see these kids' face, because I bring Olive with me. So we bring a little bed and she comes in. There's a couple things that we were just at a reading at the Scenic Regional Library, which is in Warrenton. And we went in there and there's a little group of kids, and this little boy was a little fearful of Olive. And so he Olive, all the kids were all over her, and it's a lot of stimulation. So we're careful with that as well. But she was there and she saw this little boy and he was sitting back because he was a little afraid. And he saw her look. She actually looked at him and he put his feet up and what is it, applesauce? You can't say.
Yeah,
crisscross. Yep. Yeah, the right way. We have to say everything right. So he's sitting there like that to keep his legs up to be above. And she literally pulled me and went to him. It's like she knew he had fear of her. And she went to him and put her nose on him, like, you're not here. I'll come to you. It was amazing.